Hello, hello. Good afternoon on the East Coast. How is everybody? It is Converse with the Mamas. You are in the right place. Let's say hi to everybody who's in the chat. Charlene dropped by. Amma, Kenneth. Hey, 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 hey. Zilla. Hey, Zilla. Haven't seen you in a while. How's it going? It's busy as usual, Kenneth. Thanks for asking. I have that written down right here. Paranormal. I got to do a little more research, So, hey, May. That boy Ro is in the building. How's it going, everybody? It is the midweek mashup. Happy Wednesday to all those Wednesday lovers and middle of the week people waiting for Friday. Yes, me too. And let me just give myself a good old thumbs or uppers. And we shall get into it. Get into it. Yes. I just got the notification for my own thing here, so I'm going to go on. Thanks for all those who show up on time. Appreciate it. Sometimes I'm a little late myself. So things have been busy. House projects. Yeah, I know all about that. And the grind. Don't stop. Good. Hey, MLW Fishing Man. Thank you for coming in. And for those who are new or never seen Converse with the Mamas live, I'll just tell you a little bit about it. So here, me and Frugal Mama, we typically talk about topics that are not usually talked about or hot topics. So we'd like you to drop us a comment when the live is over, or go back to a previous live and leave us a comment about what you would like to talk about. And we will take that into consideration. Mr. Kenneth also said paranormal activity, which is pretty cool to talk about, but I haven't done any research yet. So hello, Miss Teacher P. And Celestial is here. Shout out to the members. Are featured in green with a little cupcake. So if you're curious as to why they're so special, there's a join the membership button. If you're on your iPhone, if you're on your laptop, I'm sorry, if you're on your iPhone, you don't see it, but there is a link that goes through the chat or in my description box for joining the membership as low as $99. 99 cents a month with some great perks. Yeah, these are my blue light because I stare at computer screens all day. That's what I do. Yeah. Hey, Karen. Mental illness. I have something about mental health awareness because May is Mental Health Awareness Month. However, we should be talking about that all year long since mental health affects people on a daily basis, not just once a year. Let me see who else I missed. Middle of the week. Yes, it is going by this week pretty fast. I will agree. But today's topic is voting. Voting rights. Right? Is that what I put? I think that's what I put. All right. Okay. So I'm going to drop. Oh, there she is. I was just about to say maybe I didn't give my link. But, I had it written down twice, Kenneth. Twice. If you could see my notes. Look at that. Oh, paranormal and paranormal. I write a little bit of cursive and a little bit of print, so it's all good. But today we're going to talk about voting rights. I do want to mention that there are, or were, 5 states, Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, and a few other ones, that had voting this week. So if you missed it, please reach out to your Board of Elections if you're eligible to vote, and go get yourself signed up, find out what the rules are and if they've changed, and all that good stuff. Because as a citizen, it is your right to vote, and you should participate in voting. Everyone have a great day. Oh, get at that gym, Zilla. I wear blue light. Yeah, we should all probably, because I'm sure there's something to it, So welcome, Frugal Mama, to the stage. Wish I had a clap button.
Hey, everybody. Happy, what is it? Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hey, Kenneth. Hey, Corinne. Hello. Hey,
Oh, there you go.
Bless you. Hey, Tiffany. Hey, everybody. I'm sorry. I had a meeting that kind of ran over. I apologize. But I'm here now.
Getting out? I thought you were supposed to be off today.
Mm-mm.
You didn't say that this morning? No. Doggone it. Hey,
No.
Sassy TV. Hey, Tiffany. Thanks for coming in. Oh, yeah. And this can be like a podcast, guys. So if you've missed any of the Converse with the Mamas, go check out my playlist. I have it on my channel. It is called Converse with the Mamas. And you could just run it. Maybe you don't want to even listen to it. Run it. It is not for children. So please don't blast that on your children and make them listen to it, because it's not appropriate. However, mandatory vote in Australia. Yes, most countries that I am aware of. Thank you for bringing that up, Celestial. When you turn 18, I believe, it is mandatory to vote. In some countries, it's mandatory to be in the military. So you got to take some of those as they come, right? Because I do think it should be mandatory to vote. I think once you turn 18, somebody should be knocking at your door and being like, I see you didn't register. Let's go. Because voting is a right under the Bill of Rights. It is a right to vote. So that means a naturally born citizen, which, if you don't know what that means that you were born on this land in the United States of America. We have to be mindful of saying America, because there are two continents called America, North and South America. So even myself have been a little brainwashed to continue to call this country just America by itself. And if we want to call it America, then we have to include Mexico and Canada and a bunch of islands. So, it just gets dicey when you say, good morning, America, or whatever in America. It just, we're the United States.
You know what? I didn't even think of it like that, because you got South America, you have North America. North America, and then Canada, which is a whole nother situation going on.
I'm pretty sure they don't want to be. Hey, Proud Mix. So voting rights. I have some facts written down. We're gonna try to do some trivia if we can, just to dice it up. I have a icebreaker to throw out there, because it is a serious topic, but it's also very important to learn and understand. And most of the time, when you learn in a fun environment, you tend to retain the information. Not a teacher, but there's teachers in the chat. Shout out to the teachers. One just popped in, Divine Designs. And if you know somebody who's a teacher, shout out to them. Voting is important, but you have to educate yourself on who to vote for. Now, I've been saying this in a few other chats, so I'm going to say it in my arena. I don't do political stuff, so we're going to talk about voting rights as a Bill of Rights, as a constitutional right, as a thing that we should all know about, not political. Uniquely lavish. I'm not eligible to vote. It irks me. Oh my gosh. Yeah, because of the dual thing, right, Celestial? I get it. Always Tam. Hey. Okay. So in the Bill of Rights, it is featured as one of the rights that most people know about, the right to vote. We'll listen. Yeah, that's okay, Proud. And I and Frugal Mama, we are both open. This is an open forum. So if you want to say something, as long as it's not disrespectful or rude, then we're all good.
Mm-hmm.
Last voting, I wanted vote other Phil, Phil and Bernie. Hey, Six. Okay, I got it, Celestial. Yep. So, if you are a citizen naturally born, which means you were born in the United States of America, or you were granted citizenship legally through the process of applying and taking a test, which maybe I should get to on another day. Maybe we can have some fun in doing those questions, because I almost guarantee that 80% of the people who live in the United States could not answer those questions. They're very difficult. I myself have never taken it because I was born in the US of A, and so were many of my generations, in case anybody's wondering, because I get asked that. But okay. So there's quite a few amendments. Let me know in the chat if you're like a history buff, a constitutional buff, a law degree buff. Let me know. Love it. Okay, so I'm just going to throw out facts, but they aren't in order. Hey, Mo. So a third of all the amendments added to the Bill of Rights concern voting. So that means 33% of all the amendments in the Bill of Rights have to do with voting. So let me just stress how important that is. If it wasn't important to vote, they wouldn't create so many amendments on it. They wouldn't emphasize your right to vote. We used to have ads, remember, back in the day, commercial ads. Get out there and vote. You got Uncle Sam or whatever he was with the little sign, back in the day. But a third concern voting. They've had to change some stuff up and add to the stuff. So the first one is the 14th Amendment, which grants citizens, as I was just saying, naturally born, or naturalized, regardless of race. That is as it was written. I vote frugal to come on at 7 a.m. The 15th Amendment. Oh, well, hold on. Let me tell you when the 14th Amendment, it was ratified, which means it was put in and everybody agreed on it in 1868. So this is not like ancient. I know we're in the 2000s, but I think most people get confused. Maybe it was written in 1600s or 17. No, it was 1868. So, during the process, they felt it was necessary. Speaking of other countries, my mom just gave me a coin today, found in a Vera Bradley. Ooh, €2 coins. 200. Wow. That's awesome. Okay. So that was the 14th. 15th was established in 1870. So 2 years later, they wrote an amendment to prohibit restricting voting of any race. And that was in 1870. So 2 years later, they figured out, we left some people out. Let's add them to it.
So they haven't even added. They just said any race. It didn't even mention women yet. I'm gonna use my thing.
No. That's good.
Because that wasn't until 1920, right?
Absolutely.
Baby, I know about 1920 because I'm gonna say that, baby. No, I'm just we had to learn so many things about what happened in 1920. Because anyway, oh my God, this is
correct.
Y'all better listen in.
So 1868, it was put in. Okay, so what is that? About 60, maybe almost 60 years later, they decided to give women the right to vote. And that was the 19th Amendment. So we're on 15. So at the 19th Amendment, they decided to throw women in there. I didn't find what the 16th was, so it probably wasn't on voting. So 17 actually requires states to elect senators by a popular vote. Hey, kicking it with Harold and Friends. Oh, your grandparents were born in 1920? I guess that's not that surprising, but to me it sounds like, wow. That's awesome. So they were already, yeah. That's kind of cool because I've talked to patients who were around. Now this is quite a while ago. Who were around when they were able to get the right to vote, and that was interesting conversation. And as a side note, as a nurse, I used to take my patients outside, and we'd have random discussions, and we happened upon that right to vote. So it was interesting to hear from the people themselves. Each state should have a website. Yes, they should. And if they don't, you can call 211, which is the information line in every state, and find out where your local board of elections are. Also, for mental health awareness, you can call 211 or 211.org and find the local crisis line or help information line. All right. There's my tidbit. Boss Lady Denise came in. House I rent. Yeah, 1910. Oh, I love original houses. I love it. Okay, so 17th requires states to elect senators by popular vote. Now, we could talk about popular vote all day long, but these are just talking about voting. So then we jump to the 19th Amendment, which is what Frugal Mama was saying, 1920. That's what it says. All women were given the right.
I am waiting because I believe in the popular vote, not this electoral college. When did that come in? But we're going to come back. I'm going to be patient and wait because I just want to know because I need to know.
Yeah. No, it's all good information. So everybody who's listening in and just came in, we're just talking about voting rights. We're not talking politics or parties. We're just talking about the right to vote today. So if you want to talk about parties and such, I'd have to think about it because, it gets so dicey and it really doesn't have to be. It really doesn't. My oldest turned 18 and was already, there you go. I think that that's something that should be voted upon at 18. You should just mandatory. If you call 211 from your cell phone, you need to give them your state and zip code to direct you to the correct agencies. Thank you, Sassy Mom. I love this. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't pay attention to history either in high school. I'm going to tell you that. It was boring to me as a teenager, and I disagreed heavily with my teacher, but he'll be all right. So women were given the right to vote, and this was a huge, huge time for women. And shout out to those women because there was plenty that had to do with that. So there was a suffrage movement, women's suffrage. It was a big thing. Women were, what is it? Setting bras on fire and underwears and all kinds of things. And I forgot what did you say? What did you say that I was just gonna get into? Frugal.
Who me? About like everybody, every ethnicity or race, they say has the right to vote, and then 40 years later, 40 almost 40 years later, then they say, oh, okay, women, yeah, y'all can have the right.
Oh yeah, y'all too.
Oh yeah, y'all too. Oh, I mean, I'm grateful, but yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. But I'm still
okay.
I digress.
No, we can get into so much more. I'm just throwing out all the amendments because I think that the idea that people have when they hear, "Oh, I have the right to vote," they think it was just one sentence somewhere,
Yeah.
and it wasn't.
That's eye-opening because I didn't realize that a third of the amendments had to do with voting.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to find out what the other 2/3 are about.
I know, right? That'll be another episode talking about these because I know most people don't remember from school.
Have you heard about ACP program, Affordable Connectivity Program? You get $30 off your internet bill and can Oh, that's nice, sassy mom. Hold on. I'm going to write it down. Affordable, so I can look it up. Connectivity. That's needed right now, so I appreciate that. Latanya Porter, hey. Mo, 19s. My grandfather and grandmother were maybe in that. So let's jump on ahead so we can get into some fun stuff. Hey, Angie. Hey, Family Adventures. Okay. Oh, did you know that the right to vote is not directly protected in the Constitution?
Why? Because it's an amendment? What does that mean?
Well, the Bill of Rights is separate from constitutional rights. They're two different pieces of paper.
So it's not directly, but that's why it's not directly protected?
Right. That's why they came up with the Bill of Rights. But in the Constitution, it doesn't go into detail about what that actually means. So that's why I say be mindful of your states and the rules. I'm looking into it, Sassy TV. I'm looking into it. Trust me. Okay. So the 23rd Amendment was written to include the District of Columbia. Because if you're not aware, Washington, D.C. is the capital of the United States. However, it is not a state. It functions like a state, but it's not. It's a territory, it's a province, it's whatever you want to call it, but it's not a state. And they have license plates. They obviously have licenses. But they weren't allowed to vote. So they would have to go to Virginia, or probably Virginia is the closest anyway to vote. I thought that was interesting. I'm in Georgia. It's a mess, a whole mess. And then the 24th Amendment was put in 1964 to eliminate poll taxes. I don't think you guys were probably taught poll taxes, but poll taxes were a deterrent to eliminate. Maryland would be closer, Celestial. Okay. Yeah, I know there's like the Chesapeake Bay or something that separates Washington. Some water. But thank you. Poll taxes. So they used to tax people on their way to vote or while they voted. And that was essentially the reason why they got rid of it, was because it was directed towards poor people and people of color. So that was eliminated. 1964. I know we're in 2022, but 1964 was not that long ago. That's 62 maybe years ago. There's people alive that probably paid taxes to go vote that could tell you all about it. Then we have, let's see. Yeah, I said poor, which was low income. Okay. 26th Amendment, 1971, lowered the voting age to 18.
When was the making DC a state or something, allowing them to vote? What year was that one?
Oh, I didn't get the year, but it's the 23rd.
Let me see.
I can look it up. Or are you going to look it up?
Oh, yeah, I'll look it up.
Oh, no, this has to be old, uniquely. It's the 23rd Amendment, so it has to be before 1971. And I don't think you're that old, my dear. I love saving money. Oh, yep. Hey, save a coin, make a coin. Did you find anything?
I did everything except for the date. It's giving me the reason for it, the this and the that, and all I need to know is when. Okay.
Exactly.
January 23rd, 1964. No, that's the
1964. Okay.
something like that. It's close up in there. It's close. It's in the 60s.
Oh,
Okay.
so it was the same time that they eliminated the poll taxes.
Now that was the 24th Amendment. I don't say when the 23rd. They trying to keep it a secret. See that? See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Look, that was the 24th. I don't know. They won't tell me when the 23rd was. But anyway.
Oh, you were born in 75. Okay. And the last, oh yeah, that was the last one. The 26th was lowering the age to 18.
And that was the 26th Amendment, lowering the age to 18. What was it before?
21.
21? Oh, shoot. They probably should have kept it on up to 21 because these old egghead 18-year-olds, baby. I don't know.
Thank you, Latanya. So, okay, so we're going to do an icebreaker. What is everybody's favorite month of the year? January to December. What is your favorite month of the year? And for those who are coming in, make sure you smash that like button. Hey, New York Beast. Thank you. Hilda, your favorite month of the year. Remember, the conversations that we have on here, they're not meant to be divisive. They're meant to be educational, motivational, inspirational, all that good stuff. And we throw in our opinion and we ask for your opinion. And at the same time, we just want a little respect. That's all. I think that's something that everybody deserves. A little RESPECT. Oh, you guys, I have this really okay. So I'm seeing a lot: September, May, October, August, July, October. Woo woo! Favorite month of the year? Throw it out there. I'll let you guys.
Okay, so it's official.
Hey, Spiky. Ooh, September. How come nobody says March? I think that's funny. Nobody likes March. I seen May. I love July. I'm a July baby, so that's it. That's it, and that's all. But okay, so favorite month of the year, and remember when it was a thing? Like you didn't ask people who they voted for. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. Just like you not supposed to ask women their age and
right
how much you weigh.
Yeah, we need to like go back to those types of things because then we could have better conversation without having to know all this other stuff. We could just like people for who they are. You don't have a favorite month? You just like the whole year, Hilda? That's cool. All right. Any questions, comments, concerns? Those were my amendments for the rights. March. Oh, you said March. Oh my gosh.
November. Oh, November is nice. The leaves start turning and stuff. It's nice. But I like July. Everybody put their birthday month. That's right. Turn up.
Yep. I love winter and I don't like the word hate, but you can go for it. Old values, yes, I'm here for it. Fall is beautiful. Awesome. Okay, so did anybody learn anything from that? I know I did. I kind of only thought there were 3, to be honest. And the 14th always stuck out in my head. Okay, so the women's suffrage, because it's not, I don't think it's Women's Month, but you know, we're mamas up here, so we're going to talk about women. Um,
Oh, me to say to my okay, I dislike summer. Like I love everything except for the summer. The heat.
The heat in New York. Let me just tell you, the humidity up in the tri-state area, which is New Jersey, New York, and Connecticut, is awful. Like I don't even bother because most of the places don't have AC, and you just get clobbered with humidity. It's just not enjoyable. I like spring. Hey, Big Daddy Gaming. Thanks for coming in. Okay, so women's right to vote. It took about 100 years.
Mm.
So the women's suffrage movement, as they put in dates, you know, women have been suffering for a long time, but started in 1848. And when did I tell you the right to vote was? 1868. The 14th Amendment started. So women were asking for the right probably to speak in 1848. Oh, mountains, valley in the mountains. Okay, and it wasn't really over because they got the right to vote in 1920, but they have been working on it for such a long time that it's like, oh my God, you know, finally. Ooh, nice. NY. Hey, Mr. Fluffy. October. Despite summer. A lot of people are not liking summer. I like it. So I think it's kind of odd, although it's not, because if we were to go over the Constitution, you know, they like to, they like to paraphrase the Constitution as we, the people. I can't tell you the rest of the stuff. I do have it in my drawer. The Constitution didn't have any women in the room when it was written, as I know of, and none of them were women when it was written. So I'm guessing we, the people, just meant specifically men, because men at the time were doing their thing and they had the power and control over everything. So fall is dope. Yeah. So 100 years to fight for voting. And I feel like it's not as emphasized as it used to be when I was growing up. You know, it was something that you looked forward to doing when you turned 18. Oh, I get to vote. I get to do this. I get to do that. You know, like all the things that you can't wait to do. And, you know, I think it's kind of gone down the drain a little bit. Just a little bit. So, as mamas, you know, I do teach my kids that they have the right to vote and they should exercise the right to vote and do so educatedly, which means you don't just go down the box like on a what is that? You fill in the little bubbles on the test and be like, yeah, I like his last name. She sounds nice. It's not an educated guess. You should know the candidates. And if you don't know the candidates, do yourself a little favor and just go Google them before you get there, because you can't bring your phone. You can't be opening your phone when you're voting and all that good stuff. And see what works for your community, not you, your community, because eventually if you vote for just yourself, you're negating all the people that live around you. And we should all be considerate as to the needs of other people in our community, even though it's not your problem. Like, you don't have to deal with it every day. It affects somebody. So just like passing out that information about, what was it, affordable connectivity program, that's amazing. I think we should all know these things that are available to us. Another, what, 30 years before women could be seen by a doctor? Right. Without a male chaperone. Imagine. It's in the 1900s. It's really not that old. It's really not. NY said, I'm definitely for women voting rights. The cutoff date to register, was on your 18th birthday, you see? And then they come a knocking. Some religions still have, yes, that is a worldwide problem. Women in general, I can't even see why women would not be treated equally. There were whole civilizations. I'm just going to throw that out there. Whole civilizations. There's just one in particular that we've all learned about, but we haven't actually like recognized. But the Egyptian civilization was pretty much built around women. And I say that because all the pharaohs that died off, their women were left to take over. Famously Cleopatra, right? Or famously Nefertiti. But there were other women that were rulers at the time. And Pharaoh is just the name that we give them. But I'm not sure that they were called pharaohs. Anyway, they were in charge of many things. And women were put higher. That's why you have high priestess. I know you've heard that. I know you've heard queen, obviously thrown around, not just the Queen of England, but they were regal, they were royal, they were worshipped in some religions. Women have an awesome power in a lot of religions. And Latanya. So the fact that civilization sustained with women in power, and then all of a sudden you come to this country, like if you do the history jump and find out that women were not even given the ability to be educated here, it's just astounding. So when it does come to your turn to vote in your state, just do it. Just like Nike, just do it. If you're not voting for what you believe in, somebody surely will vote for you, and it may not be what you want. I've taken my kids to vote with me, and we should. It's an education process. What better way to demonstrate and exercise your ability to vote than to take them with you? Show them what it's about. Show them the process that you have to go through in your state or whatever, so that when they're 18, they're not like, oh my God, I got to vote. I don't want to do that. Also need to fight for the right. Yes. I mean, there's like a checklist of things. And hey, Debbie, I believe that we know, we all know that women are just amazing. And we have great powers and abilities, and they're not being, like unlimitedly used. So the suffrage movement became something. Yep, Susan B. Anthony. Yeah, there were quite a few women. Actually, I made my daughter do a project on the suffrage movement. There's quite a few women, and sometimes there's just certain women that stick out more than others, but shouldn't bump the other ones to the side. Hey, Mr. J. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
No. I was saying, it's a lot of women who contributed to where we are right today. So,
and there was a lot of people who died, women, men, for the right to vote.
Mm-hmm.
And just for that, we should uphold it and teach each other how important it is. Maybe your neighbor doesn't know that, the voting is coming up. Maybe you didn't know, and now you could tell somebody else. Yes, I hear you, Sassy TV. I hear you. We should all, as you mentioned, advocating for the people who can't advocate for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of getting into that by saying maybe your neighbor didn't know, or maybe somebody didn't know or doesn't know of, the change in the rules, or who's up for election, or who's coming in. This is how we help each other. And just like on the YouTube community, we have a real community in the real world. When we close this thing down and when we sign off out of YouTube, we have real people struggling every day. And just because you don't know their situation doesn't mean you can't affect change, which means you must participate in the process.
And now, what I like about some of the updates that have been made recently, because I didn't see it in many of the previous years, is like when they give you a sample ballot, they had in Texas where I am, they had like a description of the job, the candidates, and like questions that they answered during a debate or
Oh,
whatever,
that's
or whatever
great.
they submitted for. But what I realized is a lot of the contest or a lot of the categories or whatever went uncontested, and some of the candidates didn't even put up profile pictures. This is how little you think of, or you just think you just automatically in, so you don't even put a profile picture, so people be connected to who you are as a person, as a human being. How
You're not respecting the
ridiculous.
process.
Yes, then you didn't even put a picture, no less a profile. So I guess most of them were because they were the uncontested races, but that's still, and I feel like every race should be contested. Nevertheless, but at least put up a picture of you. So if I'm walking down the street, I will recognize this individual.
Right.
But one of the things that you mentioned earlier is when you do go to vote, you can't have any electronic. So, but they said that you can have a piece of paper that you've written down who you want to vote for, and that's important. But make sure you know what's going up on these ballots, because like when I did the research on the website, it had for yesterday, it had one race. Come to find out, it was 5 runoffs that we were supposed to vote on. So luckily I remember one of them. So you really have to pay attention. I'm like, why did this come up on my sample ballot?
Right.
Okay. And like I said, if voting wasn't so important, why would there be so many restrictions, so many people trying to keep people from voting? So it is important, and just going through all the facts that one busy mama named earlier in the broadcast. And if you missed that part, you really should go back, because I'm guarantee you
learned something.
Probably not all that familiar with all these changes and everything that transpired to get us to where we are today. But yeah, with all that going on, make sure you're registered to vote. What was it, 211? Or go to your state website to see, make sure you're registered, make sure your name is correct, your address is correct, because we have a lot of local election, lieutenant governor, the something of the land. Them land is very important. I can't remember what it is, but that land one, that mug got a lot of power with the schools, the roads, the land commission or something like that. Check out what these offices do.
Yes. What they do.
Like I said, I don't care who you vote for, what you vote for, because it's all your right. And you have the right to vote for whatever you believe in, whoever you believe in. But it's important to be a part of the process, because we hear a lot of people complaining, just like folks going in with all this gun rights and no right to terminate a pregnancy, all that kind of stuff. If you don't participate in the process, don't say nothing about the outcome of it. So
you can't.
Yeah, I mean, either way, whatever your belief is, be a part of the process, know what's going on, so you can impact where our world goes in the future. If you're not thinking about it, maybe it don't matter to you, but what about your descendants? Because our ancestors, all of our ancestors as a whole made these sacrifices so we could have what we have right now, which is better than we were 10, 20, 50, 100 years ago.
All of it.
Y'all know I go off a soapbox about rights and about being a part of the process. I wish I could be a part of like the school board or something like that.
Me too. I can't. I cannot. I can wait, but I do want to be a part of the process, and that was something I was going to segue into, because it's not just about voting for the president. It's about voting for those senators who stand up in the Congress room and claim to be speaking for you, when sometimes they're only hearing from 10% of the population, so that's what they think is the majority. And yet when you're polled, you say something different. School board elections are just as important. Imagine having people on the school board who don't have a degree or who are not a fan of public education, when I know almost all of us have gone through public education. Maybe a few sprinkle here and there have gone through private school, and thank you, you're welcome. But if you're not part of the process and you don't know who's on the board, they could be making up all kinds of rules, and you could be wondering, like, how come this kid is and all this is going on in the school? I had no idea. And maybe you're not a parent and you don't have kids. Wouldn't you want to vote for a safe school? Didn't you go to school? So wouldn't you want to vote for something like that for the other little kids?
Mm-hmm. But you know what? Before I had children, I'll probably say the same ignorant stuff like that. I'm like, I don't care, I ain't got no kid. And then talk. But when I started owning property, and then property tax come out, be like, oh heck, this $2,000 for the school, what is it called? The school district. I said, man, I don't even have no kids. I gotta get involved. What the heck is this $2,000 going for if I don't have no kids?
And that was,
we are community. That's
yes.
what community.
And that's why I say it's like this. It's like YouTube. Like we want to support each other. We want to have each other's back because we know how hard we work as creators. And even those who are not creators, they come and support. So you understand the process of a community. And that's what we need to get back. We need to get back to having communities and not just like, oh, I'm just going to sit in my backyard and I don't care about this person, that person, and whoever. And no, if it affects one person, it affects everybody. That is how it works. You can't just say, well, I make $1 million, so I don't care about you. You know, I've been registered and considering all the crazy. Oh, I know, it's very insane. It's very insane. But voting is one of the rights. It's one of the rights that we are entitled to as I said, naturally born citizen or naturalized citizen. Hey, James, Guy, thanks for coming in. And I think,
you know what? A lot of people may consider. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
That some like the amendments are hard to understand, but if you read them, because everything that I've seen in the last few years is all broken down, and so you don't have to start trying to read it and understand it at the polls. You can do that before you even go. Write down the propositions in your opinion, for or against. I'm telling you, they putting in raises. They putting in this bond, and then the taxpayers will pay. I'm
all
telling you, for this street thing, and this will make this will include a 10% increase in the property taxes. And just because if you don't own property doesn't mean anything, because you may own property in the future, or that may affect
children.
the cost of living in your area. And pay attention to what's going on, y'all.
Yeah, they like to write stuff, and you guys hear about loopholes. When you hear finances, right? You hear financial loopholes or real estate loopholes. No, there's loopholes in everything. If you don't write it specific enough, they will find a way to sneak in some crazy stuff that you would have never agreed to, and just to get elected. They So we need to register if we're not registered already. Find out your voting times, because they're all different all across the states. Which I would love to have just a one, week simultaneously across the country where people vote. Hey, crazy beautiful MUA, thanks for coming in. And I also believe that by the time you turn 18, unless otherwise, you are mandated to vote. You are automatically put into the system. It should be that easy. It should be that easy. Like, you turn 18, boom, you have the right to vote. And find out where you can vote, because a lot of times, this is another thing that happened in history. They tell you, oh, you got to go vote over here. And then when you get there, they're like, no, you got to vote over there. And then when you get there, they're like, no, it's back over there. And by the time you're done, you're too late. Also, I think voting should not happen on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It should happen on the weekend when people are free, or make it a holiday. Okay. This is how serious voting is. If it wasn't serious, they wouldn't want to take it away. Hey, Lois. Okay.
They
So,
wouldn't try to have restricted it and all of this other stuff,
mhm.
and then try to make it convoluted and not feasible for a lot of people to do. They would be rolling buses and everything into the senior citizens'
Mhm.
home so they can go vote and don't have to go through all the rigmarole. Yes, it would be. And what about man? No, I ain't gonna go ahead and.
Let me tell you something I wrote down here on Texas. I don't know where this is, Cameron County. I don't know if you've heard of it. They actually have something still in the books called voter removal program, where people can just go pick and choose who they don't want on the register to vote.
What?
They have
What?
it, they have it on hold right now. You guys can go
They better,
Google it.
better
Cameron
stay on.
County in Texas. It's on hold right now. But these are the things, like, maybe you thought you registered, you're like, dang, I registered last year. Why I got to do it all over again? There are things that people who really don't want you to vote will undo. So I'm not saying wild conspiracies. I'm not saying that it's all smoke and mirrors, but voting is very, very, very important. And when something is that important, you start to see people trying to chip away at your ability to vote. Um, I have also been hearing that in these states that are passing anti-abortion laws, that they are making it a felony. And I'm going to just jump to the fact that if you have a felon, you cannot vote. So I don't know how far that is planning on going, but I'm not sure that the two are actually related. So anti-abortion and voting, not sure how that goes together, but I know if you're a felon, you can't vote. So that's kind of weird, kind of strange. They have been working on a new voting act. The last one that was amended was 1965, the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Um, so that would challenge racially discriminatory practices. And the last one that was attempted to pass, because it has not passed through the Senate because of 50 senators, the John Lewis Act, which is a combination. And maybe there's some literature in there that needs to be taken out that people didn't like, but it's been sitting there for a few years. As we keep saying that voting is important and it's a right to everyone, why are we creating laws that leave people out again? It's just strange. We have it here. Our name. Yep. 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 Oh, and I know in Florida, because that's where I am, to get your name off, there's a process, right? If you're a felon and let's say your sentencing was overturned, they took off the felony, to get your voting back is a heck of a process. And when Rick Scott was in here, he was denying people left and right. So it's still, you have to jump through hoops to even get it back. We have to find a way to eradicate the two-party system. I'd rather independent party be elected. Yeah, I feel like some of the literature that was written into the Constitution and the Bill of Rights is old. And while they may have been thinking that nobody would have ever done such a thing, that's why there is no law. If you are a felon, you could still be president, but you can't vote. There's no law that prohibits um, people trying to take away your right to vote. They could just make it difficult. Like, those unspecific wordings need to change. It won't become reality for, yeah. I mean, the idea is so old, like you're talking 1868. So the ideas that were written down are very old and antiquated and outdated, that we need something that is, take all those amendments, put them together in a nice little sentence so that there's no loopholes. So there's no pieces to the Swiss cheese that somebody can cut up and dice and be like, no, you can't vote. No, you can't vote. No, you can't vote. I don't like you. You can't vote. Because again, we must be thinking of each other. We must. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that preach religion. I'm not one of them. About loving thy neighbor. Well, you can't just love the ones you want to love. You must love all of them. And if you are a party to everyone, that means you are an enemy to all of them. I don't know how that went, but a friend to everyone is an enemy to someone. It's something like that. So be mindful. Be mindful. Be mindful. I was going to do trivia.
Can you put a high five? Mm-hmm.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
I was going to do trivia. Maybe we'll do it next time. Because I do think it's still, every state, as I said, every state has different rules, different statutes that are going on. They have different times for voting. It's nonsense. Would anybody agree with me that if we just voted once every 4 years across the board, just get it all done? Anyway, anything else?
Oh, I don't know. Yes, I just, like I said, everything is so divisive. Like, okay, you got this political party, and then you got this political party that is considered independent, so it can just split more votes. Okay, yes, this is a wonderful process. No, it is not a wonderful process. Then you have the what was it called? Not the electoral college, but the popular vote. And then, but now that can be overridden by this electoral college. What the heck is this?
It's a bunch of wish-wash.
Yeah, that is a bunch of boobity.
A lemon car salesman.
That's right.
That's who wrote that crap.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't. And like I said earlier this morning, I don't know the answer, but it got to be something we can do to make this whole system better. I just wish they would just throw in the towel, say we're gonna tear out all of this stuff that is antiquated, start off new, and think about the people and how we can make this better. But no, that'll mess up so many people's money, probably. Just saying, because everything is about the wealth, not the health, not the people, not none of that. So
right. The people, and maybe they had a good idea, maybe they had a good concept
at that time,
but now things.
But instead of piecing this together with band-aids, with this amendment, that amendment, let's look at it. Just lay it all out. Okay, what is important?
Rewrite your essay.
Thank you.
All them teacher cross-outs and the red marks and the arrows. Yeah, go home and rewrite that essay and turn it in again tomorrow.
That part. Okay, can we just all just get along? Okay, just start over. Okay, we and officially just make it better.
They all matter.
Just make it better.
Every voting matters. Like board of elections. That's where you go to find out. But the school board, the board that does the zoning. And the roads, that's important too, because all of a sudden you turn around, there's Burger King in your backyard, and who voted for that? I want to know. I didn't ask for Burger King. Who put that there?
I look at some of the zoning, man. You have a house, a pawn shop, a daycare, and then down the way you got a porn thing. What in the world is going on?
No. Logistics, people. Logistics. When they say in real estate, they say location. I want to know, as a taxpayer, when does that vote come out? Because I'll tell you, I'd rather a Panera, not the Burger King. And I feel like I could be on every board, to be honest with you. I could be on the infrastructure board, the highway, the zoning, the board of education. I feel like I could be on all of them. I could tell you how to put a proper highway placement. You just do an overpass and then shoot it up over here. There's highways in Florida that people crash every day. These people have been living here for a bazillion years, and you still don't know that that's the wrong way. Like, have you watched Florida news? Wrong way drivers is like a thing at 6 a.m. I've never. Shout out to the people of New England and major metropolises like Chicago, LA, who get it right.
Yes, everything.
Yeah,
This
the pothole board.
it's
How about that
ridiculous.
one street light that's out?
Mhm.
Do you know
But,
who to
but
call?
think about the level. You have the city, the county, the state, federal. I mean, like, and then it's just so much going on. Like, just simplify this stuff. Why does everything have to be so darn difficult?
So I think a
And
lot
then
of
some
that.
of them got.
I don't know if it was me. Maybe it's my signal. Could be. No, maybe she's frozen. I think that if we all knew where our money was going as taxpayers, we'd be willing to vote, right? And yet, a lot of things seem to get passed without my knowledge. How about yours? I mean, we're all taxpayers at the end of the day. When you go to the store, you pay taxes. So, in summary, this was a general discussion about voting rights. This is not meant to be political. The buffering board, yes. I mean, there's so many things. And we're going to get to schools one day. We're going to get to talking about how to keep our children more safe and how to participate on the board of education. Um, because even if you don't have children, it affects you. Those kids are going to grow up and be somebody one day. And heck, if that is how you want to live with kids that are growing up without the proper education, without the right guidance, they're going to be in charge of you one day. Like you can't just leave it in the air. We all have to be participating in this society. So that's my summary. Thanks so much, Frugal Mama. She was losing her internet. We're at the cutoff point anyway. Um, we'll do some trivia just to keep up on the next time. So if you enjoyed this episode of Converse with Mamas, I'm glad. Thanks. Tell me what you didn't like. Tell me what you want to see. Tell me what you want to hear, what you did like. And if you were just listening, make sure you leave the comment of what's your favorite month of the year when the live is over. You know, that helps with the algorithm and all that good stuff. Is the answer homeschooling? Oh, I know. The babies must be safe. That's right. The future must be protected. They used to talk about that, guys. I mean, we all have heard the ads. We all heard the stuff growing up. The future is the children. And if we do not give the children the proper future, they will be broken and bandaged and wounded. We must provide them with the essentials that we keep telling ourselves that we had. We had all this stuff. So we need to continue it. And the only way to do it is by coming together as a community and loving each other and stop the disrespect, stop the hate, stop the everything that is negative. It is consuming our lives. So I appreciate all of you for being here and listening and joining in, smashing that like button, and for supporting the channel. You guys are amazing. And happy Wednesday. I will see you guys in the next one. 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is on Frugal Mama's channel next week. That will be June 1st. Isn't that awesome? June 1st. Summer is rolling up. Okay. See you in the next one. Peace.